Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Coffee Nuance Show with yours truly, Tom Coffee. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of psychological experiments and those so-called life hacks that have been filling our news feeds. Now, brace yourself, folks, because the truth is about to hit harder than a summer electric bill. Now, we all know those headlines that promise magic weight loss. Yeah, want to lose weight? Buy smaller plates. Simple as. Well, according to a new study, those psychological tricks and life hacks might be as reliable as an intern's coffee run. Stanford psychologists have boldly proclaimed that these experiments are about as accurate as the women of The View. Ouch. But wait, folks, it gets even better. Remember that study from the 80s that claimed that our facial expression determined our mood? You know, the ones where they made a participant hold a pen in their mouth to force them to smile or pout? Well, turns out those findings are about as shaky as the science backing bloodletting. Recent replications have shown that the mood boost from pen holding is as tiny as the chances of finding love on a reality dating show. But here's the real kicker, folks. The lead researcher of the mega study, Nicholas Coles, found something fascinating. When participants were asked to smile without any trickery involved, the mood boost was actually greater. It's like finding out your favorite guilty pleasure reality TV show is actually well written and well acted. Who saw that coming? But here's the cherry on top, folks. The more you believe these life hacks, the more they work. It's like a placebo effect on TRT. If you truly think that smiling makes you happier, then damn it, it will. It's like the power of positive thinking with a sprinkle of self-delusion. Who needs facts and evidence when you can just believe really, really hard? So, my friends, the takeaway from this is all simple. With these psychological experiments and life hacks might not hold up under scrutiny, your beliefs and expectations can still have a powerful impact. So go ahead, buy the smaller plates, practice mindfulness at work, and even leave Facebook if it makes you happier. But remember, it's all about what you choose to believe, even if science is sitting in the corner shaking its head. Remember, don't believe everything you read, but never underestimate the power of a good delusion. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, best censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. And just like that, the tea light went out. Here we go. Boom. How you like me now? Okay. Yeah, a lot of talk of these life hacks, and I've always been a fan of the quote-unquote life hacks. And it's kind of like most science and most studies. You can't really replicate it. You can't really prove it. A lot of times they make sense. But do they work? Well, you might not really be able to prove that they do. However, if you believe it, it's got a lot better chance. And that's why I'm a big skeptic, but I'm often hesitant to correct people when they have a belief about something. Because if they believe it, they got a better chance of it happening. If they have some silly belief about losing weight, I don't want to let them in on the fact that it's it's not actually backed by science. No. Believe it, because believing something makes a big difference. The placebo actually works. Placebos work. And so with all these life hacks that we hear about, they could have an impact. That is true. With, if you want to eat less, part of it is to have a smaller plate. Well, I've done that myself. When I'm making lunch, I eat on the smaller plate. I don't eat on the big plate. And then I will put less on the plate. Does it work? I don't know, honestly, because maybe I get hungrier earlier and I have a snack in the afternoon that I might not have had if I had had a bigger lunch. A lot of these things we really don't know, but they're fun to experiment with. And I would encourage everyone to keep experimenting with your own life. Keep experimenting. Why not? Don't be boring, you know? If you want to try something new, try something new. If you hear an idea on social media and you might think that it might make a difference in your life, go ahead, give it a shot. And don't look too deeply into if it's actually backed by science, because you're probably going to be disappointed. So anyway, those are my big thoughts today on this Wednesday. Today, where we're at today. It is June 28th. And here we go. I guess I have a problem with displaying the number 8 on my little machine. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffee and Nuance Show. I'm at all the social media at Coffee and Nuance. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Rumble, rumble.com/coffeenuance/live. Bookmark it. It makes it really easy to find the show. You don't have to go through and search and click here, click there, all that. And do me a favor, hit the like button. I don't ask that a whole lot, or maybe I do, but it does mean a lot to me if you could do that. So thanks for doing that. We got a number of stories to get to today. We're going to roll through them real quick, and we'll end up with some good news. And stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all your comments on Rumble and comments on YouTube. So stick around for that. But first up, let's talk about Bidenomics. Have you heard about Bidenomics? Yeah. Yeah, they're actually going with that. It's like that time your friend tried to convince you their lemonade stand was a Fortune 500 company. Yeah, it's all about spin, baby. The White House is going all in on this campaign to claim credit for the post-pandemic economic boom. They've even given it a fancy name by adding nomics to the end, which makes everything sound legit. I can't wait to see what they come up with next. Maybe they'll rename inflation price party or unemployment fun employment. Who needs reality when you got a catchy slogan, am I right? So here's the story. President Joe Biden staking his political future on the U.S. economy and launching a campaign called Bidenomics. Yeah. To take credit for the post-pandemic recovery. Despite risks of inflation and potential recession, Biden aims to convince the public that the economy is strong and that his administration's responsible for it. Well, his administration's responsible for it, but that's for sure. They plan to highlight progress areas and build on them. However, they face the challenge of selling this BS. I mean, selling Biden's vision to a skeptical public still concerned about the economy. So, yeah, they're actually doing this. Now, I think this was a play because people were calling it Bidenflation. And we can't have that. We can't have Biden's name tied to inflation, even though he's probably more responsible for it than anyone else. So let's go with Bidenomics. And, you know, they're making these claims that, like, oh, there's so many more people employed now than there were, you know, during lockdowns. Yeah, okay. Sure. Those are all new jobs that Biden created. That's what they're trying to tell you. And forget what these jobs are. We're not gonna actually say if these are, you know, like full-time jobs or part-time jobs, or if it's just contract work, you know, if it actually pays a living wage or anything like that. Forget all of that. More people are working when the government required them to stay home. So you got to reelect me, right? That's what Biden's saying. You think this is going to work? Of course it's going to work, because he's got the entire corporate media backing him up, pushing this narrative, let's just say, pushing this narrative. Do you think the economy's better under Joe Biden? I don't know anybody that thinks that, but again, that's, my own personal take on it. Everyone I know seems to be doing worse, but that's just an anecdote. And even if everybody you know is doing worse, that's also an anecdote. Don't believe your lying eyes. Believe in Bidenomics. So they're actually rolling with this. I can't believe that they're doing that. But this is the play. This is the play. You think it's going to work? Let me know. Let me know. I don't think anyone's buying it. I mean, I guess if you're one of these people that listens to Pod Save America or the Daily, the New York Times podcast, yeah, you're probably all in on the narrative. But outside of that, if you're just a regular person, I don't know anyone that thinks that Bidenomics is actually good. But what do I know, right? What do I know? Anyway, got a couple updates to get to and some new stuff, so let's see what's up. Well. Why'd the prison in Honduras decide to host their own impromptu fashion show? Swore I changed that. Well, apparently, they wanted to bring the stripes fashion trend to a whole new level. Forget about haute couture. It's all about cell block chic now, folks. They figured if inmates are going to be sitting around all day, might as well make them half naked and cramped together like sardines. It's the ultimate blend of discomfort and a fashion faux pas. Who needs Gucci when you can have prison-issued shorts? So here's the story. Honduran authorities conducted a prison sweep similar to El Salvador's tactics, forcing half-naked inmates into tight rows while searching for contraband. The crackdown followed a gang-related massacre of female inmates. The police suspect a weekend pool hall shooting may be related to the prison violence. The military police found weapons and ammunition during the searches. Weapons and ammunitions in the prison. Yeah. President Castro has put the military police in charge of the prisons and announced new security measures, including curfews and increased police presence. So Honduras has had a big problem where their prisons are essentially run by gangs, right? They're not well run at all. And it looks like Honduras has seen the success of what's happened in El Salvador of getting tough on the prison population, not putting up with the nonsense anymore. And they're trying to make some changes, putting the military in charge of the prison. Now, I've always been suspicious when you see prisons and you do not see any discipline and it looks like the inmates are running the asylum. It looks that way a lot in the U.S., that they seem a little out of control, or many of them do. And so they're implementing this new, these tactics that they've seen work really well in El Salvador. Now, this came last week. There was a massacre, right, in one of the women's prisons. I forget how many, a lot. A couple dozen people were killed. And so they're like, no, we really got to get serious now. And I think that this is a positive thing, because I think if you're going to have a prison, you need to be in control of that prison. There's no point in having a prison if you're not in control. So we'll just have to see if they have the same kind of results that El Salvador's had. I'll be on the lookout for that, and I'll be following this story and let you know, if there's any updates. But right now, that's what it is. They've had the military now take over the prisons in the country to try and restore some order. So, you know, I'm hoping for the best for the people of Honduras. And now an update about a story I told you about a little earlier this year. Zoox. And yes, that is a lowercase z there because apparently I having issues with the capital Z on my graphics program. Don't understand it. Anyway, did you hear about Zoox robotaxi hitting the streets of Las Vegas? Yeah, Vegas got a whole lot weirder. And instead of the usual spectacle of drunk tourists stumbling out of casinos, now you'll see a car without a driver stumbling around trying to parallel park itself. So here's the story. Zoox, an Amazon subsidiary, has deployed its driverless robotaxi on public roads in Las Vegas. This is the first time a fully autonomous robotaxi operates on Nevada's roads. The vehicle, without a steering wheel or pedals, underwent testing and received authorization from the Department of Motor Vehicles. It will initially operate on a 1-mile loop around Zoox Las Vegas headquarters, facing challenges like turns, stops, and interacting with other vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists. Zoox aims to learn from the deployment of its commercial launch and will expand its facilities in Las Vegas to accommodate the robotaxi fleet and testing. So, let's see, I got a little video of this somewhere. Here we go. So yeah, this car they've been testing. I've talked about this in the past. I know that it's working in California on a very small scale, and now they've taken it to Vegas in a small scale. But when this hits, it's going to be fast. Like once they work out all the deets on this, we're going to see these everywhere. You know, forget Uber, forget Lyft. I mean, we still might have Uber and Lyft, but they're going to be these autonomous vehicles. Because who needs a driver, right? This is going to be a lot cheaper. This is going to make more money. And typically, that's where things trend to. They trend to paying less and making more money. And I think with these driverless taxis, we're going to see more and more of that. What about you? Would you hop in one of these in Vegas, to take you back to your hotel? Would you feel comfortable with that? Or are you going to let someone else be the guinea pig and, hold off until there's more data? I'd be a little hesitant myself. But you got to be on the lookout for these things. When you're crossing the street, you got to treat it like any other vehicle. They might not be paying attention. And, rather than a person, looking at their phone, not paying attention on the road, these cars don't even have someone looking at their phone. So you got to treat all of this as if they don't see you. It's always important to save your own life. Don't worry about if they're supposed to stop for me. I'm a pedestrian. Don't do that. That's a bad thing. Anyway, we need some good news. So let's break down some good news. Did you hear about the bald eagle in California that adopted a baby hawk? Yeah, apparently, even the birds are trying to diversify their family these days. I mean, if a bald eagle can embrace a hawk as its own, maybe there's hope for bipartisan cooperation in Congress. So here's the story. In Northern California, a bald eagle brought a baby red-tailed hawk to its nest, where it cared for the hawklet alongside its own eaglet. This surprising behavior formed a sibling-like bond between the two birds. The eagle biologist David Hancock documented similar cases where eagles mistakenly nurture prey instead of eating it. The eagle and hawklet's relationship is permanent, and the hawklet is believed to be a survivor despite facing challenges. Observers and photographers are encouraged to understand and share the scientific explanation behind these rare occurrences. So what I have learned is that hawklet is a word. A baby hawk is a hawklet. You learn something every day. I had no idea before I read the story. And then I had to use it 3 times in the summary. But that's what it is. You learn a new word and you just keep using it over and over again. But this is really quite incredible that this big, ferocious bald eagle would take a hawklet into its own nest and raise it as its own. So that's kind of the good news. That makes you feel good. I won't do a follow-up story when the eagle eats the hawk, because that'll just get everyone down. Anyway, that's all the news I have for you today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all your comments on YouTube. Apparently not Rumble, because I don't see any there right now. Anyway, have a beautiful day. I'll see you mañana. Peace. Okay, and that is not all right. Okay. Thanks for sticking around, y'all. I appreciate it. Let's see what is happening. Looking at the things, I'm not seeing any. Did I? Oh, Eric has chimed in on the. Eric has chimed in over there on Rumble. What's up, Eric? YHF. I'm sure that stands for something cool. But thanks for checking in. I'm glad we got somebody over there. Yeah, what's happening, YouTube? Apothecary John checking in. So quick, as always. And Tasha says, well, the caffeine hack works for me, as does the alcohol hack, but the shopping hack and the gambling hack are useless. Best I can tell, I need a list of all available hacks to research. Indeed. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Imagine having that killer intro and then denying us all a full stand-up set. Hashtag Nuance After Dark, hashtag stand-up. Thank you, Apothecary John. I appreciate that. Yeah, I did threaten to do a nighttime show where I would, work on my stand-up, which is what I try to do every day. I try to come up with a little monologue every day, throw in a couple jokes. It's really difficult trying to do stand-up, 1, sitting down, but 2, if there's no people to chuck along with you, it's an odd feeling. But I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. But thank you for bringing that up. Humming along cheers me up and calms me down. My theory is that it vibrates my brain somewhat. Well, see, that's the key, is we don't need to look into it. If you found something that works, just roll with it. Just roll with it. If humming makes you feel better, just keep doing it. Right? You certainly don't want to find a scientific study that says humming does absolutely nothing, because then you're going to deny yourself this thing that is already working for you. Lucid Moments asks, have we got to 1,000 likes yet on Rumble? Well, I will tell you. Let me look up right now. I doubt it. I'm looking. Right now, we're at 899 likes. 899 likes, and I've only had 3 people sign up on Rumble through my referral link, so I do appreciate those people that did that. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. We're still working on things. Says Duggo says, hey, my thumbs up. I chatted earlier and it disappeared. Not sure what happened there. Apparently that happens sometimes. Technology, right? Humming worked for the Crash Test Dummies song, sort of. That was a great song, and I think let's see if I can name the year. No, probably can't. 91? Something like that. Anyway, Chicago is my favorite prison movie. If that's the musical, I don't know if I've seen that or not. I think I have. I didn't know it was in a prison. I'd rather jump out of an airplane than catch a ride on a Zoox. Yes, because some of us are into those extreme sports stuff. I am not. I would definitely hop in one of these driverless taxis before jumping out of an airplane. For me, 100%. But that doesn't mean that I want to do either. About as accurate as the women of The View, yes. So I have to confess that no, the scientists didn't actually say that, right? When I said the scientists said it was as accurate as the women on The View, the scientists were saying that it wasn't very accurate, and that was my own little joke there. Zoox is for cooks. Are you going to sue the algorithm in an accident? Yeah, I don't know what would happen there. My neighbor had a hawk in his backyard on the edge of an empty bird bath. He went outside, grabbed the hose, filled the bird bath, and watched the hawk take 3 drinks before flying out. Crash Test Dummies 1993. Thank you. So that was my guess, 91, but I was close. It's funny. I really should take some video of this. I have right here is my back porch. I'm looking out a window onto my back porch. And some birds have made a nest in one of the underhangs on the porch. And I think it's really cute. I think it's nice that there's a little nest there. They found a spot that they set up their nest. And it's nice because I hear them chirping and making all kinds of fun sounds all day. And then sometimes I just don't want to hear the birds anymore. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they lay some eggs in the little nest. I'll see if I can get a little video of that. And I can use the app I've told you all about to identify birds. So I don't know what kind of birds they are. They're tiny and they chirp. So I'll see if I can figure out what kind of birds they are with the bird app that I've talked about in the past. Anyway, that's about all I have for you today. I know not a bunch of stories today, but just the idea of the life hacks I thought was interesting. And I do believe it's true. Things work as much as you believe they do. Natasha says, I used to have a cardinal crash into my kitchen window several times, every day, for about 2 years. That's got to be scary. That's got to be scary. Because those aren't tiny birds. I mean, they're not massive, but their cardinals are not tiny. Yikes. I've had birds hit my windows occasionally, but not very often. When they do, I just go and point and laugh at them. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. You all have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow with some new stuff. Until then, peace.